Okay, we should be live. We should be good to go.
Cool.
So, hi everyone.
Hi, Leah. Hi, David.
Hey, yeah.
Hello.
Hey. I'm glad you got StreamYard working. We're a few minutes late because of technical difficulties. It's like tech just wants to break or not work whenever you're trying to do something. Did restarting your computer just fix it, or did you have to do anything else?
Yeah, I just had to restart my computer, and everything works now. Yeah, that's the first
That's
thing
so
you
fun.
should try when something wrong
Classic.
happens.
It's funny. I was just on vacation and I went on a hiking trip with my friends, and one of them is like in IT, and most of his job is just telling people to restart their computers. And I was telling him how frustrating it is that like most of the time when I have a problem and I wouldn't think restarting would fix it, it always does.
Yeah, yeah. The other day, I had some issues and tried like an hour, and I tried restart the computer, and it works fine. Yeah,
So
Yeah.
frustrating.
yeah.
But I think even more frustrating is when somebody tells you like, oh, did you already do that? Did you already do that? And they just claim they did it, but they actually never did it.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what they get a lot is they're like, oh, did you restart? And they're like, yeah, I did. And then finally they restart it and they're like, oh, that fixed it. It's like, you told me
Yeah,
you did that 30 minutes ago.
exactly.
Yeah.
Even worse if you have to go there in person to check it, and then yeah, it works if you do it.
Let's see. Josh said, "It's okay, Leah. I just got here myself, so you started at the right time." Okay, so it was fate, Josh. It was fate. The
Yeah.
technical issues happen. Also, hi, Alex. For everyone joining, we'd love to know where you're joining from. I'm joining from Colorado in the US, and I think both of you are joining from Japan,
Yeah,
I would guess.
Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah,
hmm
yeah.
It's a
I
time
think
difference.
yeah, the time difference is what, like 13 hours, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that. It's what, Wednesday? It's Wednesday there?
Yeah,
Yes,
Wednesday
yes, it's
morning,
Wednesday.
9
Yeah,
a.m.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm Tuesday at 5 p.m. So that time
Yeah.
difference always gets me. We have Abby here. Hi, Abby. And Josh is joining from San Francisco, so close to me because I'm Mountain Time and San Francisco's
Mhm.
PST.
Cool.
Hi, Rita. Welcome in. Yeah, I guess we can go ahead and get started then. So, hi everyone. We're here today to talk about Laravel Live Japan, which is the first Laravel Live in Japan. This year is the first one ever. And I'm here today with the organizers of Laravel Live Japan, so with David and Ryuta, to talk about what Laravel Live Japan is, as well as how it's kind of being organized, and then answer common questions about it, such as why you should attend it in Japan, and also like where you can buy tickets and all of those fun things. So if you two would like to go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit as well. Do
Cool.
you
Yeah,
want to go
cool.
first, David?
Okay, yeah, well, okay, so my name is David. I am originally from Switzerland. I have moved to Japan like 11 years ago, I think, at this point. And I'm a software engineer at WeWork Japan. And obviously, yeah, I'm one of the organizers of PHP Tokyo, of the meetups, and also the Laravel Live Japan conference. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Cool. Hey, everybody. My name is Ryuta Hamasaki. I'm also from Japan, and I'm a software engineer at Laravel, and I've been working on Laravel Nightwatch. And I'm also a part of PHP Tokyo meetup organizer team and Laravel Live Japan organizer. Yeah.
And I forgot to do my intro as well because I've been on here so much. I'm like, people
Yeah.
might know who I am. But I am Leah Thompson. I also work at Laravel with Leah. but I'm on the DevRel team, so I'm more of our online communities and just doing normal DevRel stuff like live streams here and speaking at conferences and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and get into talking more about Laravel Live Japan. So let's talk about what it is exactly. So we already have some other Laravel Lives. This is going to be our first one in Japan, which is in Tokyo, Japan. But let's just talk more about what Laravel Live Japan is.
Yeah, Laravel Live Japan is the first Laravel conference in Japan or in East Asia. And actually, the PHP and Laravel community here in Japan is big. There is like a regional PHP conference. So many PHP conferences here in Japan. Like PHP conference Japan is the biggest one, which had about 1,200 people attended. And there are other regional PHP related conferences almost every month, like in different parts of Japan. But most of the conferences here are kind of closed off in Japan, and there are no international speakers, no international attendees. So I wanted to connect the international global Laravel community from all over the world with the local PHP and Laravel community here in Japan. So I think this is the first PHP related conference here in Japan that invites so many international speakers and international attendees. So it's very special for us.
No, that's honestly great. I have seen a lot of posts about like the meetups, PHPX Tokyo. I always see the post about that, and like I'm always surprised by how big the community is because it's something like I don't really think about. And then you see the pictures, and you guys have so many people attend, and it is really exciting to have a Laravel Live Japan now, and like you said, to have the international speakers and stuff like that. And I know everyone I've talked to about it is very excited that it's happening this year, and like maybe they've already wanted to go to Tokyo and now they have the excuse to because they can go to the conference as well. So I think it's honestly great. And I think you already kind of answered about why you decided to run it, but was it basically just to kind of create this conference that you can also that would have more like international speakers and to create more of a PHP conference there since there's already the larger meetup community?
Yes. So the motivation was, as I said earlier, I wanted to connect the local Japanese PHP and Laravel community with the international community because Laravel community is essentially, global, right? When you go to Laracon US, Laracon EU, whatever Laracon, there are people from all around the world. But Japan is kind of disconnected from this global community. And I thought, I wanted to change that because Japan should be part of the global Laravel community as well. And there are great developers here as well. David, do you have anything else to add on?
Yeah, so I think like connecting the communities is one of the big goals, I think. But also when we think about where like Laravel related conferences are happening, if you think geographically, from Japan's point of view, there is India and Australia are probably the closest one. But still, even India or Australia, it takes like 9-10 hours flight from Japan. So I think there is like in East Asia, it's kind of this black hole on the map. There is no Laravel conference here. And so currently it's kind of difficult for different reasons for Japanese engineers to go outside and attend an overseas conference. So we thought it might be better to actually bring the conference to Japan then. So I think that's an additional motivation to what Ryuta just mentioned before.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think that's a big, like, an important thing to note too is the traveling, because it's like you might think like, oh, Laracon, India and Laracon AU aren't that far away, but then still, if that's like 9 something hours flight, that is pretty far compared to just
Yes.
having
Yes.
it there in Tokyo. So I guess let's kind of get into how do you pick speakers? So like whenever you're organizing this conference, how are you thinking about the talks that you want to have? How are you picking speakers for it and stuff like that?
For speakers, if I take that question, so we wanted to make sure all the talks are educational, enjoyable, inspiring, and actionable. And also, we wanted to make sure that we have a good balance of topics like PHP and Laravel. Not only is PHP and Laravel, but also, let's say, front-end mobile apps and non-technical talks. Yeah, and lastly, good balance of local speakers and international speakers.
Mhm.
And we've got so many nice talk submissions, so it was very tough and difficult to choose speakers. It's a good problem. So
Yeah, I think we received so many interesting topics. We could have easily filled another day. So, but yeah, to add about like how we chose or how we are
Mhm.
choosing talks, it's kind of I try to see it from the perspective of an attendee. Why would I go to a conference? Why would I make the effort to go there and see this talk? What kind of impact does it have? Yeah, I think it can have like an impact in regards to like there is something I can take away from this talk and I can apply it to my daily life or work, or it can have like I don't know an emotional impact maybe even, but there
Mhm.
must be some sort of an impact, or yeah, you need to feel something, or you need to be able to take something away from it. I think that's what was important to me when making the decisions there.
I think that's honestly what I kind of go in like when I go to conferences, I'm expecting talks that either make me feel something. So like if it's more of a soft talk, then I expect it to be more of like an emotional takeaway, or maybe
Mhm.
just something like balancing work and burnout and stuff like that versus like technical takeaways, but then also wanting some technical talks that I can leave with like things to implement into my daily workflow or things to research and learn more about. But I think it's also important, like you're saying, to have the kind of blend of different things as well. So having like some front end talks or some mobile talks as well. And then I think also like splitting up the kind of like difficulty level so that anyone, regardless of if they're like more of a beginner or a senior dev, can still take away something from the talks. And then I know you talked about as well having the balance of like native speakers or like local speakers and the international speakers, which I think some of the talks will be in Japanese as well, right?
yes.
How is that kind of split gonna be?
So we're gonna have 15 speakers in total, out of which 10 would be international and 5 would be locals. Yeah. Actually, we've just selected all the speakers, maybe just yesterday, but we've only announced half of them. So stay tuned.
Really? That's exciting. I think that's a good blend too. But I
Yeah.
think it's really like cool to have some of the talks in Japanese and then some in English.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I think
think.
that. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, David.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I think that just to circle back to the goal, why we are doing this in the first place, to connect the communities. And so I think that ties in very well with having local speakers and international guests and speakers, right?
Mm-hmm. No, especially like wanting to like create this too so that it is kind of being around the existing community, like the PHP Tokyo community that you built up, to make it more kind of like inclusive and feel more involved with the community. I think having the talks in Japanese does that as well. And then you're blending it with the international speakers and the kind of global Laravel PHP community by having the English ones as well. And I know people really enjoyed having the kind of Japanese and English toggles, even just on the website. Like as soon as the website launched for Laravel Live Japan, people are super excited to see that. So
Yeah, because if we only had like English website, maybe Japanese people would not think that it's for me. Maybe it's for like international people. Yeah, so we wanted to make sure that it's for the local community as well, not just international.
yeah, let me share that as well. Oop, okay. Sorry, I was trying to share the link in chat for the website that we're talking about. Of course, it's the English/EN link for me right now. Let's see. So I know you just said that you picked all the speakers, so that part of the planning is done. Still announcing them and stuff, but that part of the planning's done. What else with the kind of scheduling and like program for it? Like how is that coming together? The like planning for the conference.
Actually, we have, even though we've closed the CFP for the regular talks, we're gonna launch another CFP for lightning talks. So it's kind of common thing to have lightning talk session in tech conferences in Japan. Usually at the at some point in the conference, there is a lightning talk session where 10 speakers go one after another, and each talk is 5 minutes. So you can give some light talks, and which is quite fun. So we wanted to bring it to Laravel Live Japan as well. So once we open the CFP form for lightning talks, you can you can submit as many talks as you want. And yeah, we're very excited about lightning talks as well.
Yeah, I feel like in Japanese conferences, like recently, lightning talks have become more and more popular. And so some people like try to make a challenge out of it to put as much wisdom and knowledge and sharing as possible into these 5 minutes. So sometimes it's quite fun. And yeah, so I had a couple questions like between what is the difference between, like, for example, a sponsor talk and a lightning talk. So just to elaborate on that a bit. So a sponsor talk obviously is to kind of, the goal is different, right? It's to promote your service or application or what have you. While a lightning talk is really just a very condensed short talk where you kind of give tidbits and crumbs of wisdom in a short time, right? So that's the difference.
No, that's really exciting. Because I missed the original CFP, so I might apply for a lightning talk. I do
You
like
should.
lightning talks too. I will.
Yeah.
I will do it. Do you plan on having the lightning talks? I know you said like back to back. Do you plan on like interspersing them between the full length talks as well? So it's like a big talk, like a lightning talk, maybe like a break, and then kind of over again, or?
We're still thinking about the schedule, but we're leaning towards more around the end of the conference, maybe the end of the day 2, or we might split into 5 lightning talks for each day. Yeah.
I think that'll be good. I don't know how like they're normally structured in like Japanese conferences for it. I know like I've been to different conferences here in the US and that have lightning talks, and each one does it a little bit of a different way, you know, where like maybe it's like a big talk and then a couple rapid fire lightning talks back to back. Then another one I went to, it was like a regular talk, then a lightning talk, then a break and stuff like that. I think honestly, any way you do it will be fun, but it is nice having like little lightning talks as well as like a palate cleanser from all the like very heavy like 30-minute technical talk.
Yes. Yeah, I actually haven't thought of having lightning talks after each regular talk, but I think it's a great idea, actually.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm not trying to completely change your schedule, I promise.
Yeah.
And I guess because we kind of talked about already like the talks and different things, but where's that? What do you expect, or what should attendees expect to learn overall from coming to Laravel Live Japan?
And David, do you want to take that question?
Yeah, sorry,
again,
the audio was a little bit bad. Could you repeat the question?
Okay.
Yeah, I can repeat it. Like what should attendees expect to learn overall from coming to the conference? Or like what should they expect to take away overall?
Okay. Yeah, so I'll go first. Maybe Ryuta can add something after that. So yeah, overall, like we mentioned, we try to make an interesting program with different talks, different topics that covers a wide range of things like technical and non-technical. So, and it's also across different levels of experience, I guess. So I hope we can make a program that caters to like from beginners to experienced people. I hope that everybody gets inspired or discovers things you can do with Laravel and PHP they didn't think about before. I hope they get inspired to finally tackle their own whatever goal it is. Yeah, or just, restart that project you shelved like maybe 2 years ago or something. Yeah, I hope, and I hope that, everybody can mingle and meet awesome people, make friends. Yeah, I hope that's my personal goal. But Ryuta, what do you think?
Yeah, in terms of the talks and topics, you can learn a lot of things. For example, what's happening in the Laravel ecosystem. So many things has been happening in the Laravel ecosystem, not only on the open side of things, but also like products like Laravel Cloud or Nightwatch. And I think it's so hard to keep up with what's happening. So you can catch up with all the stuff happening in the Laravel ecosystem in 2 days, because Taylor is giving a keynote, so he will cover all that cool stuff that are happening in the ecosystem. Also, not only Laravel, but also PHP itself. Roman Pronsky, who is the founder of PHP Foundation, will be giving a talk about what's happening in the PHP development and what's next. Also, there are some other talks about, JavaScript toolchain that, Void Zero is working on. I think it's pretty cool to learn about those front-end stuff. So many cool topics across the topics, and also, I think the vibes is a bit different from other Laracons. And the culture is different. Also, we have a great host, Daniel Colburn. He's very popular in a Laravel community. He's given a talk in all the Laracons, but actually he grew up in Japan, so he speaks Japanese as well. So he's gonna host the conference in English and Japanese, which is very fun. Yeah, yeah. And we also have the after party, so you can enjoy, connecting with the people, and also some Japanese food as well. Yeah.
No, that sounds great. I didn't realize Daniel was like he grew up in Japan. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, actually, I met him Laracon AU in 2023 before I joined Laravel, and I had lunch with him, and suddenly he spoke to me in Japanese. I was so surprised.
Like just out of
Yes.
nowhere, he just started speaking to you in Japanese.
Yes,
That's funny.
and he was
Like, that's
also one of the speakers. Yeah.
It's like a fun party trick, just like
Yeah.
surprise people.
So that time,
Yeah.
I already decided to invite him as a host if I had, if I ever had a chance to host Laravel Live or Laravel conference in Japan.
No, I think he'll be a great like MC host for the conference. And then
Yeah.
you were talking about the community too, like the vibes and the community will be different at Laravel Live Japan, which I think is kind of a great segue into talking about kind of the community you've already built up. So talking about like how this kind of got started, right? So you already had PHPX Tokyo, and then it kind of turned into you now hosting Laravel Live Japan. So let's kind of talk about what PHPX Tokyo is. So talking about the meetup.
Actually, everything started from Laravel Live Japan. So David and I went to Laracon AU in 2024, I think. So, and after the conference, we were chatting about wouldn't it be cool like if we had this kind of conference in Japan? So the idea, everything started from Laravel Live, but we wanted to start something small. So we wanted to build an international Laravel and the PHP community here in Tokyo first, and so that we can do some experiments, let's say live translation. Language barrier is one of the biggest challenge for us to host the international conference. So we wanted to make sure that everyone, it's accessible to everyone, regardless of the language they speak. So yeah, so it's kind of started as an experiment and a small step towards the conference. Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe even before Laracon Australia, we were kind of just like jokingly like talking about having a Laravel conference in Japan, and yeah, then we went to Australia. We talked to a lot of people there, and like everybody in the community was very excited about the idea, and so we felt like at that point we basically we have to make it happen. And so, yeah, when we came back to Japan, it was like, okay, so, but how do we tackle this? How do we approach this? And so we had the idea, like Ryuta said, to start small with a meetup. And so the meetup is kind of like the proof of concept or the test bed, if you will. And yeah, we learned quite a few things from these meetups. Personally, for me, one of the things I noticed is like, yes, the language barrier is real, and we definitely need some solution to cater to English speakers and Japanese speakers. But the other thing I noticed is there is definitely like interest there in connecting with engineers, like from both sides. So in the end, it doesn't really matter what language you speak, because everybody comes together with this common interest. And so, yes, you need a little bit of help maybe with tools that help with the translation and stuff, but ultimately it works out because everybody shares the same interest and goals, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I kind of feel that just in the like Laravel PHP community in general too. Like at any conference I go to, anything like that, I feel that like common interest of just wanting to talk to each other and learn more about what each other's like building and stuff like that, like how we're using this tool, just like trying to form those bonds because of the common interest of like Laravel and PHP, like regardless if there's any like slight barrier of language or anything like that.
Yes, exactly.
So how did I didn't realize though that the meetup started because you wanted to do the conference. So I think that's really, really cool. That's like, I want to do this conference. Let me do a meetup first. But how did you grow the meetup? Like you decided to start it. How did you kind of grow it to what it is now?
So, so when we decided to start a meetup, I
Mhm.
just tweet about it on Twitter, and a lot of people showed an interest, and it was hard to build a community just in Twitter. So we
Mhm.
created a Discord server for the community so that people can hang out and we can announce some stuff for the conference. So, and I think almost around 100 people joined the Discord server within a week. So it was a big demand, actually, hidden demand. And in the first meetup, we had already like 40 people in the first meetup, which was great.
Man.
And we also needed a venue because, we're working. I mean, David is working for WeWork Japan, but um, yeah, we needed a venue, and I reached out to some company here in Tokyo, and they are super kind. Like they're gonna be a sponsor, not just for the venue, but also food and drinks. So we're very lucky, and I'm so grateful for them to be a sponsor. So yeah, and from there, uh, the community grew. You know, like I think we had 5 meetups so far.
Yeah.
It feels like more. I feel like you guys have done more, but having 40 people at the first meetup, I feel like is a really good turnout.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember like last year we had our first meetup in March, if I remember correctly. And like Ryuta said, we had like around 40 attendees. And shortly after, I went back to Switzerland and I attended a Laravel meetup from the local people there. And like, I mean, obviously Switzerland is, is a small country, but even they are doing this for many years already, and they never had the numbers, I think. So they were very surprised. Very nice people. I talked to them about organizing, and I told them we just had our very first meetup and like 40 people attended, and they were quite surprised about that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think it
I'm
shows
happy.
like, oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, I think it shows like the need for something like that in Tokyo too, like in Japan, which what, how many people were at the last meetup, if you know?
I think around 40.
Yes, it
Yeah. So
was.
we constantly have around 40 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. And what did you learn like from doing the meetups, right? What did you learn from running that has helped you when it comes to planning the conference now?
I already touched a little bit on some of the things. Maybe Ryuta, you want to add something?
Yeah. What we learned from running the meetup. Of course, as David mentioned, live translation. Actually, I built the live translation app myself. It's built with Laravel and some WebSocket stuff. And yeah, it works pretty well. I just need to make sure it works with bigger audience at the conference. And apart from that, so when I started the PHP Tokyo meetup, I wasn't sure whether Japanese people are interested in this kind of international meetup or event, because it's very uncommon to in Japan that people, just the local people, attend international events, especially in the PHP community. But we learned that they are actually interested in international events and connecting people from different places. So yeah, I'm sure that there's a big interest and demand for Laravel Live Japan as well. And in terms of the program, I think at the PHP Tokyo meetup, we also have different, mix of topics, not just about PHP and Laravel, but also some non-PHP Laravel topics, for example, AI, MCP, or non-technical talks. So so I wanted to make sure that we cover those topics at the conference as well. Yeah.
And then we do have a question too, which is perfect timing. It's like, wait, what? There's a Laravel meetup in Japan? Yeah, there's PHPX Tokyo, which is the meetup that David and Ryuta organize. And now we're having Laravel Live Japan in Tokyo this year as well. And they're also organizing that.
Yeah, it's actually fun because we sometimes at the meetups, we had people who are not living in Tokyo. They were just on vacation. They were just dropping by and like, oh, I just saw that there's a Laravel or a PHP meetup and I just wanted to check it out. And that was so fun to see.
When I'm traveling, I try to look that up and it's like, is there a meetup I could like drop in while I'm there? But usually it's not.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's such a fun experience.
So we talked about the language for the talks and stuff like that, but let's talk about like what else attendees can expect and like how people can get involved. So kind of answering like I guess some questions, like common questions people might have about Laravel Live Japan. Touching on the language very briefly again, because you're talking about the live translation app you built. So that will be used for all of the talks for the conference as well, right?
Yes, for all of the talks. So you can see the live translation in English and Japanese all the time on the main screen. So you can see the translation and transcripts next to the slides. And also you can scan the QR codes to see the live translation on your phone or laptop as well. Yes.
I think that's really
I'm also
cool.
thinking, I'm also thinking about something like to help people communicate with each other, regardless of the language they speak. So that's another app that I'm kind of working on right now.
Oh, that's exciting. I needed that when I was teaching, like very badly when I was teaching. That'd be really cool. I like the idea of having the translation right next to the slides, like as the speaker's like presenting. I really like that idea. What about the ticket pricing for the conference?
Actually, it's quite affordable compared to other Laravel conferences outside of Japan. It's about 50 USD, which is actually 8,000 Japanese yen for 2 days. So because David has
Awesome. I think he's back.
Dropped out there for a sec.
Yeah. Cool. So we wanted to make it affordable because most of the developer conferences in Japan are free or quite affordable because these conferences are run by volunteers and sponsors, so that people can, it's so easy to join for people. So if we, if we make the ticket pricing, around the same pricing as Larcon US or EU or whatever, I think Japanese people, wouldn't make it. And so we wanted to make sure it's the same standard. Yeah. And I think it's a great opportunity for, international people as well. You always have to pay for the travel and lodging, hotel. So, but the ticket pricing, the conference pricing, it's quite affordable. So I think it's a great, great excuse to come to Japan.
No, I think so too. Because I was going to say that as well, is that I think the affordable pricing helps for international speakers because like when you're looking at the travel prices and stuff like that, it might be like, oh, I don't know if I can swing it. But then when the tickets are so affordable, I think it makes it like easier to justify. Also, I mean, going to Japan in general, if you need the excuse, the conferences that, just go, you get to go to Tokyo and meet more people in the community.
Yeah. If you haven't been to Japan, now is your time. This is the chance.
Yeah.
Seagusser had asked, where can you share a website for the event? Yes, I just shared the website in the chat. And then if either of you want to answer when and where it is as well.
When?
Sure.
It's going to happen on May 26th, 27th, 2 days, and in Tokyo. And we have a great venue as well. And we have the after party on day 1 as well.
No, that's fun. I think most of the after parties are on day 1 for the conferences, right? I always forget that.
I think so. Yeah. Some conferences have after party on, all days.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day's party.
What is the venue for the conference too? And like, what is the venue near?
The venue, it's a bit far from the central area in Tokyo, but the venue is amazing. It's basically like a music, a concert venue. I think it's pretty new. I think it was built around 5 years ago, and it was a big stage and very nice chair, soft, and it's good for your hip.
We love soft chairs.
Yes. Usually the chairs on the conferences are very hard.
Yeah. It's like sometimes it's just the cheap chairs that they have to like fold out. And
then the plastic ones.
After like 10 minutes you're in pain.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's like a theater, and the sound, the audio system is very good as well. And the surrounding areas is nice. Lots of green and lots of nice cafes and restaurants. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in general you could say, even though it's technically still in Tokyo, it's kind of almost like a suburb kind of area. But that being said, there are very good like direct trains to the center of Tokyo. But then you also have access to nature within like 30 minutes or whatever. You can go and be in the mountains basically. So yeah, you have a good balance there.
Oh, that's great. I think you just sold me on it. On trying to go anyway. You just had to say mountains. I'm like, well, I could go to the conference and then I could go see nature nearby.
Oh yeah, you just have been hiking, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All
Yep.
right.
Let's see. Trying to get to the different parts of the website here. But back to tickets a tiny bit. We talked about this ticket pricing, and then I saw you also offer, is it a discount for tickets for students, or is it free tickets for students, or?
It's actually free tickets for students. So yeah, you can apply for, you can submit these application form from the ticket page, and yeah, and you can join for free if you're a student.
And you said it's on the ticket page
Yes,
to apply
you
for
can
it?
find the you can
Nice.
find the link to the form on the ticket page.
Let's see, let me just screen share. There we go. So I'm on the ticket page for it, and then down here you can hit apply for the free student tickets. If it'll load. Yeah, okay. And then you just get there by hitting tickets on the website, and there's the beautiful website. Let's see. And then someone said 3 prices, what's different? Like what's different in the, I guess, the
So we
tiers here?
offer group discounts if you're coming with your friends or your colleagues, and we have group discounts for 3 people and more, or 10 people or more.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And then eligibility. We talked with the talks about trying to make like the talks of the conference will be all inclusive basically. Like you'll have different levels and you'll have some front end ones. So can people attend if they're a beginner who maybe has never even used Laravel?
Yeah, definitely. Beginners, beginners are welcomed. And, if you're a beginner, you might not understand everything in talks, but I don't think it's all about attending a conference. It's not all about understanding everything in the talks. But also, it's more important to connect with people, get inspired, and get motivated. And maybe you might find some role models as a developer and make friends. So yeah, it's definitely worth joining, even if you're a beginner. And you can still have some takeaways from talks as well. Some talks are more, senior, advanced levels, but we also offer some talks for intermediate or beginner levels.
Yeah, I actually also want to extend an invitation to people who are from different communities, who are maybe using different tech stacks and are just curious and want to see what's on the other side of the fence, basically. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you have used Laravel for, I don't know, 10 years or never at this point. If you're just curious, then yeah, feel free to join.
I can definitely attest to that for like Laracons and stuff too, because when I went to Laracon US in 2024, I was mainly in the JavaScript community, mainly like React, JavaScript, didn't like only had like 3 weeks of Laravel experience. And here I am because I went and like networked, fell in love with the community. So definitely
Yeah.
recommend going regardless.
Nice.
And then I'm sure you've gotten lots of questions about this too, but how does the visa process work for this? So can you get like visa support for, I guess, people to attend and for speakers?
Yeah, if your country requires visa to visit Japan, um, we we help you by providing you with a invitation letter for the conference, which you can attach to your visa application. So the visa requirements differs depending on which country you're coming from. So maybe you should check with your embassy or something. But so we can help with the invitation letter. Yeah, and you can apply for the invitation letter from the ticket page as well.
Right there.
Yes.
Let's see. And then for like traveling and staying, is there any hotels or places that you recommend, or is it mainly, they should be on the website, right? Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. So there are many options near the venue. So these hotels are all around the venue area. But as David said, it's a bit suburb in Tokyo. So if you want to explore the city, maybe you might want to stay in more central area. But you can also there's a good public transportation from the central area to the conference venue. Or you can stay different areas. Maybe during the conference, you can stay around around the venue, and you can move to other areas after or before or after the conference.
So kind of regardless of if you stay, so these hotels are right, like pretty close to the venue, but even if you stay a little bit further away, you should be completely fine getting to it because of public transportation.
Yes, there's a
Yeah,
direct train.
right. Yeah, so public transportation in Japan and in Tokyo in general is very reliable, safe and clean, and it's very efficient. So getting around is no problem at all. And yeah, like Ryuta said, from basically what would be center Tokyo to the venue, there is a direct line. So yeah.
That's so nice. I'm so jealous of nice public transport. Let's see. And then for the venue itself, like is the venue accessible in general? Does it have accessibility for wheelchair users, stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely. It's accessible to wheelchair users, and the venue itself is quite new, so I think it's quite accessible, to everyone.
Yeah, I think it should be up to the latest standards, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. And I think we touched a little bit on like what all is near the venue and kind of in Tokyo in general. But do you have any specific recommendations that you would tell people they should definitely see near or around Tokyo if they're there for the conference?
Yeah.
David, do you have any recommendations? I've
I mean,
been in Japan so long, so
well, yeah. I mean, at this point, I I cannot consider myself a tourist anymore as well. But well, I would say like it really depends on your interests, I guess, and also if you've been here before or not. So obviously, if it's the first time and you like to go to the like popular places, then yeah, go and see Tokyo Tower or Skytree. My recommendation would be Skytree because it's higher and you see the true scale of Tokyo, which is mind-boggling every time I see it. By the way, from the mountaintop I just mentioned earlier, you also kind of get a sense of the scale of Tokyo. It's a really nice view. But yeah, then if you're more into like traditional things, there are a lot of temples and shrines and like kind of like old quarters and stuff, like old streets. It's there are many things to see, but then if you're more into like, let's say, nightlife, then there are many
Mhm.
exciting places. Like Shibuya is very famous, I guess, Roppongi, Shinjuku. And I mean, there are so many great like restaurants and bars, and like there is something for everybody, for every taste. If you're a foodie, then you are in luck, because I think, if I remember correctly, like Tokyo is the city with the most Michelin stars in the world or something. So yeah, just go out and try as many things as possible. Basically, it's my advice.
That's just selling it even more because that's just making Tokyo sound, I don't know, even better than I was already thinking of it. Which you mentioned food too. Do you have any like authentic Japanese food recommendations, either like near the venue or just in like central Tokyo?
I do have a couple very specific recommendations, but I think we will put out a guide later, and I can
Yeah.
put in a few of those. But Ryuta, from a native perspective, what kind of dish or food should people try definitely when coming to Japan or to Tokyo, I guess?
Maybe if you eat raw fish, definitely try sushi. There are so many authentic sushi restaurants in Japan, and
Mhm.
some or some local uh, bars, or it's called izakaya in Japan. It's like authentic, like traditional, local style restaurants and bars. Yeah, you should definitely go there. But I think in general, you can find nice places and more in the central area. Yeah, rather than
Mhm.
the conference area. I mean, the conference area is very convenient, and you can find many food options. But as a tourist, maybe, yeah, it might be better to try in central area. Yeah.
Gotcha. I think a guide will be good. Like a guide will be really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one more thing I want to add, because I feel like sometimes, like, the perception of the cuisine, of the Japanese cuisine, is mostly around like seafood and raw fish and sushi and this kind of things. But I would
Mhm.
highly recommend trying beef in Japan.
Okay.
Any kind of beef dish.
I'm gonna write
Yeah,
that down. I know
you
Ian
will
said
be
ramen.
surprised.
Yeah.
Of
Ramen
course,
as
ramen.
well.
Yes.
Gosh, I love ramen. But like I'm also thinking of like packaged ramen in the US, which would be different than eating ramen in Japan. So I guess like what is the weather like around because Laravel Live Japan's in May. What season will that be? What will the weather be like?
I think it's the perfect season. It's between spring and summer, and
Oh,
it's not hot. It's not cold. Summer in Japan is like crazy. It goes
really
around
hot?
40, yeah, 40 degrees Celsius. I don't know the Fahrenheit.
104. I looked it up. 104. Man, that's hot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Is it humid there
but I
too
think
during the
what
summers?
very, very, that's what makes it even more terrible.
yeah. Don't come to Japan in
Yeah.
summer.
I will not.
Nope, not recommended.
But
Yeah, I
May,
think
perfect.
yeah. So I think this was one of the most important factors when choosing the dates as well, because um, like literally like 2 or 3 weeks later, the rainy season will start. So that's when
Mm.
it starts getting really warm and humid. And before that, obviously there is the cherry blossom season, but it's very, very crowded. Everything will be booked out, and obviously it's very beautiful, but it's gonna be very crowded. So we think between the cherry blossom season and the rainy season is kind of the ideal, time to do this.
No, it sounds like perfect timing. Sounds like good planning too, because I know Laracon US was in Denver last year, and normally Denver's not like super crazy in the summer, but it was like our most humid week. Like I think it was like
Mm.
record-breaking humidity in Denver during it, and we were all so hot.
Yeah.
So very glad that it shouldn't be that bad. Um, yeah, I think we're gonna start wrapping up a little bit, but two more questions. Um, if anyone is interested in sponsoring kind of Laravel Live Japan, who do they talk to or how would they go about sponsoring it?
Yeah, we're still looking for sponsors, and there is a sponsor interest form on the website, the conference website, and you can submit the form, and we're gonna reach out to you with the prospectus. Yeah, and we can give you more details.
Gotcha. I just dropped the link for the website once again, but it's the one we showed earlier and talked about as well. Um, and also, if anyone is interested in going to Laravel Live Japan and wanting to buy a ticket, laravellive.jp, the website, is the place to go for that as well. And then I feel like there's one more. Oh, how can someone convince their employer to let them attend? Do you have any suggestions for that one?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, when I went to uh, Laracon US for the first time, which was 2018, um,
Mhm.
I was working for a Japanese company, and no one went to a conference outside of Japan. So I talked to my boss, and you know, it's so hard to convince them, but I shared everything that I can take away from the conference, like in terms of like you know, technical talks and connecting with the community. And I also promised that I will write some blog posts about attending the conferences, so
Mhm.
that it, we had a conference, company tech blog, uh, so which might help, uh, the company hire some people in terms of like, because people are interested in conferences, and if your blog post, if your company's blog post had some topics about the conference, and from someone who actually attended, it's quite interesting. So I think writing a blog post is one of the good excuse or the way to convince your company. David, do you have
Mhm.
any other tips?
Yeah, it's a tough one. If somebody knows a good way, then yeah, I would also like to know. But yeah, in addition to what Ryuta said, I think in one of the companies I worked for, we had kind of like workshops and study sessions, like company internal, where I
Mhm.
basically had to relay the knowledge I obtained at the conference to like junior engineers or other engineers, team members. um, yeah, maybe that could be like yeah, something. But other
Yeah,
than that, yeah.
I would just think of like going through the schedule and like seeing what talks are being given and trying to like relate them to your like day to day or what your work is doing and like possibly like doing an even an internal document of like takeaways from it or like doing like a little meeting once you're back of like teaching your findings you learned during the conference to your team possibly could convince your work. But besides that,
Yeah,
I have no ideas.
yeah, could be an argument. I mean, it's worth a try at least.
Mhm. But yeah, I think we're a little bit over an hour. So we'll start wrapping up. But thank you both for coming on stream today and talking about Laravel Live Japan today with me. We kind of covered what Laravel Live Japan is, which is it's an in-person conference in Tokyo. It's the first Laravel Live or even Laravel conference in Japan, I believe. I know it is for Tokyo. It's happening this May. Is for really anyone, regardless of skill level, or even if you're new to Laravel or kind of PHP. And we kind of went over how to attend, which if you are interested in attending, you can go to the website that I shared in chat, and I'll also pin it again, laravelive.jp, to get tickets as well. And then David and Leota, do you have like any kind of closing remarks you want to give? Like tell people where they can find you or where to reach you if they have any questions about Laravel Live Japan and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can go first. Yeah, thank you, Leah. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm super excited about the conference. We have secured so many great speakers, and yeah, so we wanted to invite so many people from not only Japan, from all over the world. And you're all welcomed. And you can find all the details from not only the website, but we also have the Twitter account, Laravel Live JP, and you can find all the new announcements from the Twitter and LinkedIn as well. And so if you have any questions, you can reach out to the conference's Twitter account or myself. My Twitter handle is avo salmon, AVO salmon, basically avocado and salmon.
Let's see. Okay, I posted the Laravel Live JP Twitter link is in chat. Let me try to get yours. There we go. Sorry, it takes me a second to find the links.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, David?
Yeah, thanks for hosting this stream, for having us. I hope we will create a great conference that caters to everybody's taste, that is enjoyable for everybody. Again, I want to extend an invitation for everybody who is kind of still on the fence. Again, we hope we can attract more sponsors, more attendees, and but I'm sure it will be a great conference. Please reach out if you have any questions via the website or even direct messages. My handle for Twitter would be offskip _ Dave, I think. That's it.
It is. Yeah. So I'm looking it up as you're talking. There we go.
Great, thanks. Yeah, so if you're unsure, if you have questions, just reach out. And but yeah, I hope to meet everybody in Tokyo soon.
And you guys said that the CFP for Lightning Talks will be releasing soon, right?
Yes, very soon.
So everyone, remember, you can apply if you didn't apply to speak for a regular talk, which I didn't because time got the best of me, you can still apply for Lightning Talks if you need kind of the excuse of speaking to go to Tokyo. So be sure to apply for that. And you can, if you missed us going over all the great things to do in Tokyo and Japan, if you're visiting, make sure to watch back that because I think it will convince you that you should go to Laravel Live Japan. And yeah, thank you all for being here. Bye. Hope to see you in May in Tokyo.
Yeah, thank you, Leah.
Yeah, see you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.